Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is David, this is David Kyriax, and here on this channel I ramble with articulation, I hope, about a variety of different musical, audio and video elements of the videos I watch. And today we are going back a few years, 5 years in fact, in Home Free's canon back to their Sea Shanty Medley. I was looking for something to do with theirs, and I've been talking with a friend of mine back in the UK recently a lot about sea shanties, and it put this into my head. I'd seen it a while ago and it's been on my mind to do, and for some reason I've just never clicked on it. And these conversations recently sparked my interest. So, Kaylee, this one's for you. Also, interestingly, I have no idea what to expect in this song, but there's two things I think I can take a guess at. When I was looking a couple of weeks ago, I got caught up with other videos, baby metal and stuff recently, but I was going to do Home Free a couple of weeks ago, and I saw they've done a cover of a version of Santiana. And so I'm guessing that we're going to get Santiana in this video, and given that it's 5 years ago, I will be very surprised if we don't get Wellerman. And that, of course, being when Nathan Evans released his version during the pandemic, which completely brought a resurgence to sea shanties, I think, and certainly brought them more into the popular mindset than they had been previously. Sea shanties, of course, previously, historically work songs that were sung aboard merchant sailing vessels, and they'd have a pulse to them, and they could be used for rhythmic work like hauling on sails, things like that. They were a great way of creating consistency and harmony, physical movement harmony, as well as obviously musical harmony. Har har. Sorry. But that consistency there of having, something a beat to heave to, so that everyone in a line would heave at the same time or row at the same time or whatever it happened to be. And they've expanded now to be sort of considered more maritime in general, but they were originally merchant vessels that where these were sung. And as I say, they kind of came back to the popular scene, I think. There've been people around. I know the Longest Johns have done, I think they even covered Wellerman. Which is actually a more recent song. I didn't realise that until I was looking information up. It's only from the 70s, the 1970s specifically. There are other songs, I wouldn't be surprised if we get Drunken Sailor in this, that are around from the early to mid-1800s. Wellerman is very recent, and I did not know that. Yeah, when Nathan did his, and of course there was this big thing, right, with TikTok, of course, coming to the fore during the pandemic as well, and he did his original version where it was just him thumping out the percussion and singing it, and then it got duetted multiple times. You had these big sort of 10-person strong arrangements of this and multiple different versions of it floating around and all that sort of thing, and it became this big thing. Of course, as I said, other groups have been performing them. I'm also aware that in video games they became popular. I'm not sure if that was because of, I don't know the timing of it, but Assassin's Creed Black Flag, I don't know how old that was off the top of my head. It may have been pre-pandemic. Somebody who knows the games, I'm sure, can correct me, but Ubisoft puts out titles at quite a rate, so I can't keep track of them. But in that one, you're a captain of a ship, and your crew sings sea shanties randomly while you're sailing around the world. I haven't played it, so I can't speak to it, but that sounds pretty cool to me, and I'm here for it. Anyway, yes, beyond my guesses, I have no real idea what to expect in this. I know a few shanties. I don't know if I'll recognize all of these. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Home Free does with them, because I think they will have a real blast with it. And given they've had this nautical focus with their last album, that's why I'm sort of guessing Santiana. I feel like maybe one of those cases where they did it in this medley and maybe it was popular and people asked for it to be done again. I don't know. I could see that with Wellerman as well. I don't know if they've done a full cover of Wellerman. Anyway, who's to say? We'll find out as we go. I'm guessing a lot here rather than just getting on with the video. So I will say, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. If it is, the way this works is I'm going to watch this video through from beginning to end, commenting and emoting over the top. I'll then go back and watch it a second time, this time pausing, interrupting and offering what commentary and an analysis I feel I can, based on what I've just seen and heard and the foreknowledge of that one prior viewing. If you're just here for the reaction, the first quarter or so of this video will be good for you. Also, please do check the description down below. You will find a link to the original video and to Home Free's channel. And go there, check them out. Look at this video before you come back here. If you haven't seen it already, they are the original artists. I am merely analysing their work. Please do hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell. And if you'd care to support the channel, you can head over to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts, to patreon.com/DavidKReacts, or leave a super thanks here on YouTube. And any of those very gratefully appreciated if you should choose to do them. And that's about it. If you haven't watched my last couple of videos, I'm in a new space now. So I'm recording in a new space, but I'm not fully set up. I don't have my full computer here yet, so I am working on a laptop with a single screen. So please pardon any cuts in this video, unless I state otherwise with text on screen. It's because I'm switching between screens and things like that, and I have to turn on this screen here and turn it off again, and then switch to it and start playing and all that kind of stuff. And I like to keep the video tight and moving forwards. So if there's any cuts that are unexplained, that is why. And that's it. So without any further delay, let's go over and check out Home Free singing their Sea Shanty medley.
There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was
Makes sense. I like that they're referencing Nathan's video too. This is sort of how his original looked if you haven't seen it. Oh, fun. Hello, Tim. When the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She'd not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. Oh, that's fun. Called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Oh, that depth down there is a lovely addition. Oh, yes, of course.
What will we do with a drunken sailor? What will we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning. Put him in the brig until he's sober. Put him in the brig until he's sober.
Oh, I like that choice. To have them just sing the first few words of the line.
Up she rises.
Up she rises. Oh, I like the colour coming in too. Oh, leave her, Johnny.
Leave her, Johnny, leave her. She shipped it green and none went by, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her.
That harmony, though.
Leave her, Johnny, leave her.
Okay, Austin.
And the winds don't blow. It's time for us to leave her. Cape Cod ships.
Oh!
No sails. Haul away, haul away. They'd all blown off in the northeast gales, and we're bound away for Australia.
Oh.
So heave her up.
I knew they'd do sea shanties well. This harmony is wonderful.
Haul away, haul away. Heave her up and don't you make a noise, and we're bound away for Australia.
Santiana,
Oh, there we go.
aimed a day away, Santiana. Now pull the yarn up the west, they say, along the plains of Mexico. Well, heave her up.
Oh, I like that.
We'll go away,
Oh, Rupp with the castanets.
heave her up.
Thank you, sir.
We'll go along the plains of Mexico.
She's a fast clipper ship and a bully good crew. Away, Santiana. And an old salty yank for a captain too. Along the plains of Mexico. Well,
I like that. This is great.
Santiana. Heave her up and away we'll go along the plains of Mexico. Santiana.
Bit of disruption there, sorry.
Away, Santiana. Around Cape Horn through the ice and snow, along the plains of Mexico. Well, heave her up and away we'll
This is so good. I can see why they did a full version of this song.
heave her up and away.
Oh, nice, it sticks.
Along the plains of Mexico. So leave her, Johnny, up we'll go. The drunken
Oh. Oh, that's fun. Oops. No. Don't click on anything I haven't heard. That's fun. The way they bring the names of the other songs without actually bringing the melody in at the end. I like that. That's fun. They did that so... I knew they'd do sea shanties well. That was phenomenal. Here, I'm just going to go and have a look and see if there is anything in the old description. Ahoy, mateys, listen to our sea shanty medley. I see what you did there, and I like it. Video created by Jimmy Bates. I assume because this was done in the depths of 2021. Ooh, that rhymed. This was put on TikTok as a bit of fun. No, dear Lord. Let's pretend I didn't say that. But yes, I assume this was a TikTok originally. Just basic going on the portrait thing and the HF in the corner. I also enjoy their visual for this, for their little sort of album covery look. But no other information. Oh, yes, there's the album Sounds of Lockdown. It would not surprise me if this was on that. That is genuinely fantastic. They absolutely killed that, which doesn't surprise me in the slightest because it's them and they do that with songs. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. And I don't know Cape Cod Girls very well. I'm aware of it. But it's one of those ones that I know exists, but I don't particularly know it. The others I have sung at least once, and I'm at least familiar with them, although I don't know all of their histories. So I might look into those quickly at the top of each song, because sometimes that can inform what we hear. Wellerman I can speak to a little bit. So I know that one, as I said, is a lot younger than I thought it was going to be. The Wellerman were supply ships that were provided by the three Weller brothers way back in the day. And they were... it was around the time of the first English settlers in New Zealand. Or colonizers. Let's be honest about it. And the song Wellerman actually didn't come into being until the 1970s, which I didn't realize. And the song, of course, is about the Billy O'T, which is a ship that is hunting a right whale. Which, believe it or not, is the name of that type of whale. I came across that, I don't know, a few years ago, before the Nathan released his pandemic cover. I'd heard of right whales. I can't remember. Oh, it was a board game, I think, that had right whales in it. And I was like, that's actually a thing. But yes, there's three species of right whale. Anyway, and they're hoping that the Wellerman will come and resupply them. I always get a little bit of a Moby Dick vibe from the story. But yes, that's what that one's about. So let's go back in and watch this again and see what I can pull out of this. I do enjoy that they immediately start off kind of replicating Nathan's. There's an obvious, very obvious allusion to Nathan's video here, and I enjoy the fact that they use that. Oh, did I bring it back up? No, I didn't bring it back up. Let's bring it back up. There we go. You can see what I'm talking about now. There's a very obvious allusion to what Nathan's done there, and it makes sense because they're capitalizing on the popularity of what was a big trend at the time. I can't remember when Nathan's cover came out, whether it was early 2021 or whether it was late 2020. But they jumped on this pretty fast if this came out in March. Yeah, I think it's a very smart idea. And this, again, is how he started, with just him thumping out the beat and singing over the top of it. So great start. I love Chance's voice as the start to this too.
There once was a ship that put...
Oh, I meant to say, and I just heard it again. I apologize if there's some audio artifacts coming through on the editing. There may not be, it might just be what I'm hearing right now, but it sounds like there's disruption in the internet a little bit. There's been some terrible weather in Toronto. Well, it's not bad right now, but it's been quite bad recently. And so it's possible that that's coming through. And if that's the case, I will have made a note already at the top of the reaction watch, but I just wanted to reiterate it here. I'm sorry if that is the case, because it'll be a little disruptive, but hopefully not too bad.
There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was the Billy O'T. The winds blew harder, bowed it down below, my bully boys blow.
Yeah, that was even worse, disruptive-wise, so I'm definitely putting a note at the beginning in case you are hearing it. I really like that as the start. Just keep it simple. Start it the way that Nathan started his videos. I like that concept for shanties in general. Let's start with a single voice and then bring the chorus in. It's also, I think, fairly typical. There's a call and response element to sea shanties too, where you would have somebody kind of lead the shanty to sing the song, and then the chorus, which would be the bit everybody knew, would be where everyone joined in as well. I like the fact that as we get the huh, that's when they come up on screen and we get this fanned out image of the 5 of them. I think that's fun, and I love that we're going to use this image, this pattern, multiple times in different ways during the course of this video. I think that's a lot of fun. And we start, of course, with the first person that we're seeing. We're basically seeing the order of how they're going to kind of feature in this. They may all come in earlier, but we're hearing from Rupp with the percussion. Tim is going to be the next most obvious voice that kind of has a moment, and we kind of fade through them, unless I'm very much mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that's how it went.
The winds blew harder, bowed it down below, my bully boys blow. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
I like that too. I love that we have the little fan, we get this pattern that we're going to use, but then we shift into this nice little array of seeing the 5 of them next to each other. Tim's bass in this is his bass is always amazing, but it's ringing really hard in this one.
One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
And it's the harmony is standing out so beautifully, then to be contrasted with the unison singing for the take our leave and go. That's really, really nice. The balance between the two of them is absolutely spot on. I like that a lot.
And one day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She'd not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her right well boy.
Now this I love. We are using that rhythm, the dum dum dum, to have the shifting of the video, and it's not slowly panning back, it's jerking. It's scaling down in jerky format, so that every switch on the beat, it goes with that, so it doesn't matter that it's jerky because it's patterned in a way that works really, really well, and it's rhythmic, so the eye can be accustomed to it. It's not like something like this isn't a comparison at all, but shaky cam. Like if you go back and think about some of the example that always comes into my head for those is like the fight scenes in the Bourne movies. You get these scenes where you can't figure out what's going on, and part of it is that there's no pulse to the shaky cam. It's just shaking, and so there's no pattern for the eye to follow. Here you've got this very distinct pattern of doof 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 doof, and every time you get that hit, something changes, and so we know what's coming. We expect the change. We're anticipating each of these, and then we get this really cool thing where we get this cycling of the videos, which I think is so much fun.
She'd not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her right well bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow.
And this is what I mean. This distortion is really bad. I'm so sorry if you are hearing it. But this is what I mean of like you get Chris featuring next, then you get Adam featuring next, then you get Tim being featured with that take our leave and go at that point, and then we get Rob and presumably Austin at that point as well coming in with the huh, and then we carry on from there. But that's what I was talking about when I was saying that fan was originally in order of their feature moment, which kind of comes here.
The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum.
And again in here, we've slowed down the editing, so now it's this dum, dum, dum. On every second beat, we're getting that cut. And I think the fact that because these songs have such a pulse, they have such a very evident beat to them, it makes sense to do all the cutting on the beat. This is an excellent example of musical editing.
Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum.
I love how subtle some of this harmony. I mean, obviously Tim is standing out because he's got that very, very almost sharp sound to his voice down there. Not musically sharp, but the quality that he's using is a little aggressive. It's pushing through. But I love that we've got this very dum 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 dum. I don't know what the actual notes are, but just quietly in the background, that higher pitched harmony, presumably from Austin at that point, which is wonderful.
Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
And there's the take our leave and go just at the top there, very faintly as well, while everyone else is coming down in that unison, take our leave and go. Really, really nice touches that just fill out the sound that we're hearing just a little bit. And I'm a big fan of that.
Soon may called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow.
Yeah, like there, for example, it's just, I think, Tim and Chance coming down in unison on that.
Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Da 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 da.
And again, even here where this is cycling, it's still cycling on the beat. I love this little extra bit of just vocalized harmony here at the end. I think it's absolutely wonderful to add a little bit of extra because there's such rich harmony to this song that their voice ranges fit really well, like where Tim is sitting, where Chance is sitting, where Austin is sitting. Everybody's voice is sat neatly into its own space that creates this very broad sound right now. Like, this is an expansive sound in terms of how much of the musical register it's covering. And, you know, again, this is one of the things Home Free does so well. They fill the frequency really, really effectively with their voices when they choose to, like, be broad.
One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Da, 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 da.
I love that choice. Da, 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 da. Like, that drop down onto the minor seventh at that point in time is a really lovely harmony. It's a little different to what we expect, knowing the harmonies that have built up around the versions that we're more used to, or that we were used to hearing when this came out. And I love that choice.
Take our leave and go. Da 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 da.
It's nice because it's a bass heavy arrangement, but it never leaves anything behind, and I think that's really, really lovely. Really impressed with that. I'm going to take a pause here for 1 second and just look up. I want to check I know a bit about Drunken Sailor, but I want to check some facts. Yes, so the what should we do with the Drunken Sailor? Possibly as old as the 1820s. We know the 1830s, and it was actually first referenced in 1813, or one of its first references was in 1839. That we know it was definitely this song that was being referenced, and they were talking about it being an effective song for line hauling, so when people were hauling on a rope. And again, that's kind of what I was talking about. Is the jum dum? What's the jum da da dum da da dum 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 da da? Dum. You kind of have that weight on the first and third beat that would be a good sort of rhythm to haul on a rope or whatever it was they were doing. One thing about this song that's kind of cool is I haven't really talked much on my channel. I sort of touch on some music theory. I haven't talked about modes an awful lot, which are a type of scale. And things in modes basically take a minor scale or a major scale and alter it by flattening, usually I think flattening or occasionally making sharp, a note or two. In the scale in order to change the sound a little bit, and you get sort of, you would recognize, you might not know the name for it, but if there's a certain sound that might be the Ionian mode or the Locrian mode or whatever it happens to be, and the Dorian mode is perfectly exemplified in this song. And the Dorian mode is you have a flat third, which is a minor key basically, but also a flat seven. So if you were singing a minor key, it would be da 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 da. That's your harmonic minor. With that da da, there's a sharp seven up there. So you have the sixth is slightly flattened, and the seventh is sharp. In a Dorian mode scale, it's da 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 da. So you have that flattened 7 instead, and that creates this very, very kind of specific sound that you hear in Drunken Sailor. Random little bit of additional music theory for you. Question: are people interested in learning any more about music theory? Because it has crossed my mind to do like a music theory video at some point, like a 101, basic stuff, but using occasions where I can identify a specific thing has happened in some of the stuff that I've covered on this channel. Is that of interest? Let me know. Very random question to throw out in the middle of this video, especially because I've been really bad at checking comments recently, but let me know. Anyway, back to this one. Let's go back to Drunken Sailor.
What will we do with a drunken sailor? What will we do with a drunken sailor?
I love two things about this. First, I love that we have that little... It's the first time the drums have really done something other than keep the pulse in this, but there's just that little run into this, just to give us a little bit of a turnaround. Of course, Rob taking over makes complete sense. I love his voice here. I think it's great kind of energy and change of vocal timbre to start this with. I love that the accompaniment has just gone to this long-held ooh now, so it's giving us a different vibe underneath the melody as well. It's a very defined change. They're not trying to fit Drunken Sailor to the rhythm section that they had running for Wellerman. They are doing something definably different.
What will we do with a drunken sailor? What will we do with a drunken sailor? What will we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning, put him in the brig until he's sober.
Oh, so much good stuff here. I've always been fascinated, and Wikipedia at least didn't seem to know, or unless I missed it. I scanned it, and I'm not doing super deep research into these videos. Why it's pronounced early rather than early. I've never known that. I've always just, for years, I sung this song, and then one day I was like, why do we say early? And nobody around me at the time could tell me, and I've never found out. If anybody knows, please do put it in the comments. But I love this. It's a great start to this. And then what I really enjoy is when you get, I mentioned it as we went through, you get this, put him in the brig, put him in the brig. Like choosing to have the bulk of the chorus harmony just on those words and then let Rob do the rest while the rhythm continues underneath. I actually really like that. It gives this very cool musical interest that you don't necessarily expect straight away. I also love the concept of this song where it's just like every verse is a new way of punishing the sailor for being drunk. It's just kind of fun.
Sailor early in the morning, put him in the brig until he's sober. Put him in the brig.
And now we're getting this, like that turnaround that got us, or not turnaround, but like the little drum fill that got us into this is now something that is being featured throughout it, which I think is fantastic. That little bit of setup in the upbeat to us starting this song is now something that features throughout it.
Early in the morning, put him in the brig until he's sober. Put him in the brig until he's sober. Put him in the brig until he's sober. Early in the morning.
I love that Austin's just up to fight the guy. That's funny. I also like the choice that we've kept this in black and white so far. And I think that's fun. I think, obviously we have the color coming later in the video, but the fact that we've got this black and white effect that's running through, not just from Wellerman, but into this. I don't know if this is referencing anybody else. Like, obviously I recognize the reference to Nathan's video. Is there a Drunken Sailor that was done in black and white? Is there a reason why Leave Her Johnny is when it becomes color? I think it was Leave Her Johnny, right? Is there a rationale behind that I might be missing? Whatever it is, I like it.
Put him in the brig until he's sober. Put him in the brig until he's sober. Put him in the brig until he's sober. Early in the morning, way hey up she rises. Way hey up she.
This I enjoy too. We go to the way hey, and there's lots of different versions of this. He ha and up she rises. Ho ho and up she rises. Like it's differs depending on the version, and this is one of the things with sea shanties, right? They were sung on the ships as a means of doing this, but they weren't necessarily notated or written down at the time. So there are multiple versions of each of these, and you can easily imagine a crew making up of a verse of a song about one of their sailors who got drunk, or their captain who had this particular quirk, or whatever it happened to be, as long as it wasn't going to get them into trouble. So they're very modular songs. They're ones that will have shifted a bunch punch, and there'll be verses that, you know, that crew of sailors over there probably knew that nobody else knew because they'd made the words up themselves. So there's definitely a lot of variety. Also, here's where we're going into colour. Right. I also just love that Tim just has a full pirate get-up. Had they done a pirate video before this, or is this just Tim? Neither would surprise me. I'm just curious.
In the brig until he's sober, put him in the brig until he's sober, early in the morning, way up she...
Oh, yes, that's what I was going to say. I love that we have the why hi in the background as well. So you have you have the rhythmic work song element of it, but you also have this kind of rowdy call in the background.
Till he's sober, early in the morning, way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises, early in the morning. Oh, the wind was foul and the...
I love how smoothly they change from one to the other, even while they're not only changing song, they're also changing tempo. That was very... and key.
Is early in the morning. Oh, the wind was...
We've just gone down a tone.
Up she rises
Early in the morning.
Oh, the wind was foul.
Yeah, just dropped a tone there, just like that. Very, very slick. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to have a quick look at Leave Her Johnny's history, because this one I really don't... I know the song, I know none of the history. Okay, so as far as I can tell, her in the title, Leave Her Johnny, is a ship. And there's no Wikipedia page for this. I looked at a Reddit thread, and the discussion there seems to imply that it was basically about a bad memory of, which makes sense, of sailing on a ship with a crew that the captain and the mate weren't necessarily the best people, rotten food, all that kind of stuff, and they're saying, okay, move on, there's more out there, but put the bad memories behind you. And also somebody made the point of it being potentially having an element of turning bad memories into putting that little bit of a rose-tinted gloss on them as time passes. So, the bread was moldy, but on the other hand, we had something to eat. That sort of logic, which I actually really like. I think that's really interesting. So yeah, anyway, that seems to be where this one comes from. And somebody also made the very valid point that a lot of shanties are very nostalgic towards the sea, or humorous, or there's an element of positivity about them, whereas this one is actually a little bit more of a negative song.
Rises early in the morning. Oh, the wind was foul and the sea ran high. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. She shipped it.
It makes so much more sense now somebody said the ship. Because in my brain, when I've sung this in the past, and I wasn't really... This was when I was a lot younger, I sang this one, and so I wasn't really digging into lyrics as much, and in my head, that was saying leave the sea. It was almost like I thought they were trying to convince someone to stop being a sailor. But just to leave that ship and move on makes so much more sense.
Morning. Oh, the wind was foul and the sea ran high. Leave her, Johnny, leave her.
Oh, that harmony there as well, so tight. And even just in the background, there's a ha, ha, comes through right at the very end there. That's so subtle and quiet, but it's just there in the background, I think.
Sea ran high. Leave her, Johnny, leave her.
Oh, sorry, ha! Just up there, Austin, just coming in on the higher levels there. And I love that. It's like the harmony is all there, but it's balanced in such a way that some of it is actually quite reserved. And there's other bits, obviously, again, Tim's still quite in your face with those bass notes down there, which kind of suits, I think, the that sort of shanty grounding kind of vibe. I think that's very, very effective. I love Adam taking back over here. Great voice for this song. I mean, anybody could have sung any of these, really, but I think I like this switching off between Adam and Rob that we're getting, and everyone else is having their moments in... I mean, obviously, Rob is just absolutely killing it. This consistency of his vocal percussion in this is remarkable. And then Tim and Austin kind of getting their moments on the extremes, I love.
She ran high. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. She shipped it green and none went by.
The she shipped it green and none went by, whatever it was that was going on. Lovely little harmonies just there. And again, a little bit more in the background, but still there. You can still... It's a part of the texture, and if you choose to focus on it, you can. But you don't have to get the effect of it being a part of the arrangement. It's gorgeous.
leave her. She shipped it green and none went by, and it's time for us to leave her.
I love that this one has a bit more of a dum, 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 dum. Like there's a bit more of a percussive rhythm to this one, rather than just dum, 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 dum. Like it's a little bit more involved this time around. This again, I always say this. I'm huge on evolution in songs, especially in a medley. I feel like with medleys you have to go somewhere. You can't just stick to the same area all the time, and they're not. They're shifting around. They're playing around as they're going, and that's fantastic.
Bye, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her.
Austin is really playing with the camera in this. I like that. They're obviously kind of all doing their own thing a little bit, and his character that he's adopted here definitely has a little bit of the mischievous about him, and I'm quite enjoying that.
Leave her, oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her.
Yeah, I love that. That now that I'm thinking about this history and the idea that it's about the ship, for the voyage is long and the winds don't blow. Like that, it could be about the sea, but knowing it's about the ship, it's like that one ship is almost cursed. Get away, go onto another ship, go sail with a crew that you know is respectful and where the captain is a little bit less of a menace or whatever it happens to be. That makes so much more sense. I love this. Their harmony is always spectacular, but here in the middle of this, moving through and on past the end of this song, they hit a real sort of golden harmony for me for a minute, where it's just everything sounds so good together.
Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her.
Lovely stuff.
Cape Cod ships ain't got no sails. Haul away.
I was listening to Rupp's change as we came into this one, where it's a little bit more subtle. It sounds almost as if it's just a dum 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 dum, but if you actually listen, it's a bit more involved than that. It's sort of dum 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 dum. Like there's a little bit more going on, but again pulled back. They're really playing with how much is featured in the mix in this. And for a video that I'm presuming was done with pandemic conditions, you know, especially given the presentation of it, everyone seeming to be in their own space, etc., etc., this is really, really well mixed. It's great work.
Oh, and it's time for us to leave her. Cape Cod ship.
So we've gone back up a semitone. So we're now a semitone down from where we were for Drunken Sailor. I didn't catch what the key change was going from Wellerman to Drunken Sailor. But we've gone from there, that was the end of Sailor. There was Leave Her, Johnny, Leave Her. And now we're in the middle for Cape Cod Girls. And I'm going to jump off for a second and have a look into Cape Cod Girls. Because again, I don't know anything about this one. Give me a minute. Okay, so by going from some information in the, what's it called? The My Grandfather's Provincetown Facebook group, this seems to be a mid-19th century, so again, around the 1850s, and it was a song that was popular in the Gold Rush area, Gold Rush era, from sailors who were departing from the Cape Cod area, dreaming of riches in Australia or other locations. And whilst it seems to poke fun at the frugality of those in Cape Cod, it was something that really kind of took on its own life. And I actually saw a post while I was looking around where somebody had sent into a website, they were a Cape Cod resident recently, like maybe now still, who had sent in their own version that they had grown up singing. So again, this kind of shows that these shanties evolved different lyrics and verses and things like that based upon where they were coming from. This is also, and this is a term I hadn't come across before, which it's a windlass shanty. The windlass is like a hauling mechanism. And I think that probably, they were saying the description of that is something with a consistent beat. And I think that speaks to the hauling, sort of sensation and rhythm that this would have been used for in work, is a windlass shanty being relating to something where that rhythmic sort of hauling on the rope would have been what you were attempting to achieve by singing this in the first place. So that makes a lot of sense to me.
Time for us to leave her. Cape Cod ships ain't got no sails. Haul away, haul away.
I see where that Cape Cod ships ain't got no sails straight out the gate, now that I think about it. Yes, absolutely. They're cheap, so they don't have sails. This, yep, I see it.
No sails. Haul away, haul away. Ain't all blown off in the northeast gales, and we're bound away for Australia.
Interesting. So Cape Cod ships don't have no sails. They all got blown off, and we're on our way to Australia, which would have been a heck of a journey, with no sails to do it with. And I guess they therefore didn't have spares, or maybe the haul away is about them bringing spares up. I don't know. But there's an interesting thing here. So I spoke about modes earlier with Drunken Sailor. There's an interesting thing here in rhythms. So let's have a listen. I'm going to want to jump back to the beginning for a second and just speak this out. I'm going to speak out the beats of the bar. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So at the end of every 4-bar section, there's an extra 2 beats. Now that could be written as a bar of 2/4, which is 2 quarter notes in a bar, or you could append it to the end of that 4th bar and make it a bar of 6/4, so 6 quarter notes in a bar. But I love the fact that that's in there. It just gives this extra little pause and emphasis at the end of each verse, so that the next thing that's sung almost comes as a little bit of a surprise, because it feels like it's coming in both early and late at the same time. And so it catches the ear when it does.
Blow, and it's time for us to leave her. Cape Cod ships ain't got no sails. Haul away, haul away. Ain't all
I love that we got this hey, hey going on in the background, these kind of vocalizations. I love that we started out too with that ooh, the sort of fall off. Almost a sort of comedic emphasis on the ain't got no sails kind of thing. But then everyone joins in for the haul away, so that the sort of response part of the call is Cape Cod ships ain't got no sails. The response is haul away, haul away. And on that response, you get the full harmony. So you could imagine somebody like Rob standing up at the front, starting this off to get that rhythm going, and the sailors responding as they're hauling on the ropes, kind of thing. It's very cool. I also like that we've shifted back to Rob again. Like I said, this trade-off between him and Chance is very effective.
haul away, haul away. Ain't all blown off in the northeast gales, and we're bound away for Australia.
I love that. It's Australia that we've got kind of going on. Oh my goodness. I heard how rickety that was. Going on at the top there. So you've got this lovely complete high harmony that's fitting in with everything else that's going on. He just threw his cup. I was like, how does he have 2 arms? But I particularly love that all the way to Australia. That line, the harmony in that each time it comes back is fantastic.
Ain't all blown off in the northeast gales, and we're bound away for Australia. So heave her up, my bully, bully boys.
And notice there, all in parallel unison. Not actual unison would mean Tim singing up the octave, because he's down here singing down in his boots. But everybody's singing the same note. Like, they're all singing a G at the same time. It's just a G in multiple octaves. But it gives it this really strong push through on that line, because we haven't had pure unison since Wellerman, I think. And it's a very impactful thing to have all 4 of them singing that at the same time. Again, very subtle change from Chris here, where it's this dung, 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 and that is almost not there. Very, very effective.
Northeast gales, and we're bound away for Australia. So heave her up, my bully, bully boys. Haul away, haul away.
And I love that the whole, everyone's on the same note as well, but then you get like Tim stays there, for example, haul away, and you get the haul away, and it expands out through that phrase. Very, very effective.
Bully, bully boys, haul away, haul away. Heave her up and don't you make a noise, and we're bound away for Australia.
It's so effective the way that they're doing this, and because of that little extra hold. I don't know Cape Cod Girls well enough to know if that hold is in there, if there's meant to be that 6/4 bar for the sake of argument, or if that's something that they have interpolated into this themselves. But it's extremely effective because it just gives that little extra hold on the harmony and then allows them to come back in with whatever else. Very, very cool.
Bully, bully boys, haul away, haul away. Heave her up and don't you make a noise, and we're
Again, that unison, and it's so impactful. It sounds more imperative, more like an instruction, because you have that very, very targeted note rather than having the harmony. It's really cool.
bound away for Australia.
Santiana gained a day.
I love that Austin takes over here, and you have that very quick that we haven't had that fast. This is, I think, a slightly faster beat than we had at the beginning, and it's dum 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 dum. It's quick. This is the fastest editing we've had for a moment, and it's great for a change of pace and style. I'm just going to have a look at the Santiana information. Okay, so this one, there's a couple of interesting things. Again, taken from Wikipedia, but this is apparently a sea shanty about the Mexican General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna. And is probably relating to topical events that were happening at the time. This is in the 1850s again. It might have been earlier. It does mention that the lyrics are not historically accurate. Sounds like, if I understand correctly, maybe there's a couple of battles that are being... I have sung Santiana, but I can't remember it that well. But it sounds like they're referencing battles that were won by the US, but they're sung as if they're won by the Mexicans. And there's the possibility that this was actually... the change was caused by British sailors who deserted and joined Santa Anna's forces, which is really interesting because there's an interesting... This is an oral history, right? If this is a historical shanty telling a story, it's an oral history that has been changed because of because of the actions of those who developed it, which is quite fascinating. Also, I noticed it's mentioned here that shantyman and shanty collector Stan Hugill wrote that Santiana was originally a pump shanty and became a popular capstan shanty in the call and response form. So that tells me that a pump shanty didn't have a call and response. I'm assuming pump shanty meant that they were pumping water out of the boat after it had become waterlogged or something like that. The capstan, I think, is the thing that rotates, right? You see it, you're pushing on the arms to kind of rotate it. My ship knowledge is very poor. I'll correct that if I'm wrong. But that had the call and response thing, whereas the pump shanty didn't. So I guess because maybe a pump shanty, maybe it was only a couple of people, whereas the capstan, there'd have been a whole bunch of people pushing on it at once. And so that the rhythm of their motion would be much more important because they would be working in constant unison rather than where the pump, I guess, maybe that... I don't know. I'm guessing here, but it makes sense to me that something that involves more people would require a little bit more structure and foundation, which makes sense for a capstan shanty to therefore be a call and response. Somebody who knows more, please tell me the correct answer, because I could be so off-piste with all of that. That is my educated guess. And I'm not that well educated on ships. Anyway.
And don't you make a noise, and we're bound away for Australia.
Santiana gained a day. Away, Santiana. Now pull the yarn up the west, they say, along the plains of Mexico.
Now, this is so interesting. The Plains of Mexico, incidentally, is an alternate title for this song. But I love that this is everything, because you've got this dum, 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 dum. It's a much pace, like that you can feel how much the pace has picked up in this song, and so the editing has gone with it, which makes complete sense that based on how this has been edited so far, of course this is how this is going to sound now.
Away, Santiana. Now pull the yarn up the west, they say, along the plains of Mexico.
Notice in this one, Tim is a little bit more back in the mix. He's not quite as punchy now. He's sitting a little bit more as a part of the whole, which is a really nice choice because it's giving us a slightly different vibe. We've also changed to a different lead singer than we've had so far because this isn't Chance or Rob. And so we're getting a slightly different sound anyway, and that just kind of plays into it a little bit. And right now we're just getting dum, 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 dum from Rupp. But of course that's going to change because in a second he's going to bring in the castanets. And now we get this very Hispanic sound to the music, which is really cool.
Well, heave her up and away we'll go. Away, Santiana. Heave her up and away we'll go along the plains of Mexico.
I love there's some really interesting chords happening in here. I want to go back on.
Mexico. Well, heave her up and away we'll go. Away, Santiana. Heave her up and away we'll go along the plains of Mexico.
Yeah, we're sitting. There's a lot of tonic and subtonic here. So the 1 and the 7, the minor 7, D, D, and then there's that D, 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 D. So you get the minor 6, minor 7, 1 climbing back up again. It's a really interesting chordal progression that's different in layout from anything that we've had so far, and I like that because all of these are getting their own unique sound. And so whilst this is a medley that feels very holistic, it's all got that kind of dum 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 kind of rhythm going onto it. It all has a nautical vibe to it, but it's also sounding, it's clearly 5 unique songs. They haven't tried to merge them, and I'm really glad they didn't.
Up and away we'll go along the plains of Mexico.
She's a fast clipper ship and a bully good crew. Away, Santiana, and an old
Nice. I like that we switched to Chance here because it gives us a slightly different take. It's almost like multiple people telling the story of what's going on, which I really enjoy. And I like that it kind of changes because we're focusing on a different lead. It also slightly changes how we hear that harmony, even though we're getting the same harmony again, because we're hearing a slightly different voice forward. You're naturally going to hear Chance's voice slightly more in the group because we're used to hearing him right now.
crew. Away, Santiana.
I mean, he's also forward in the mix, but...
Salty yank for a captain to along the plains of Mexico. Well, leave her up and away we'll go.
And I love that we come back to this fanned out thing again. So we're referencing the beginning of the video as we come towards the end. I think that's incredibly smart.
Mexico. Well, leave her up and away we'll go. Away, Santiana. Leave her up and away we'll go along the plains of Mexico. Santiana fought for gold.
And this too, we come to this point and now we have Rob and Austin. You can hear, even though Rob is clearly a little bit louder in the mix, it's a perfect line to duet with Austin here.
Mexico. Santiana fought for
Da 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 da. I guess it's something like that maybe. But I love that rise up there in the background. It's because we're going up to the tonic. There's something very triumphant about it, which I think is a really nice touch.
the plains of Mexico. Santiana fought for gold. Away, Santiana.
Around Cape Horn through the ice and snow along the plains of Mexico.
So this is fun because we're getting... Austin's effectively joined the solo part for this last song. And I love that we flip between him, Rob, and Chance kind of with different levels of import in the melody. And then you just have this really solid rhythm section from Rupp and Tim. Very, very cool. Oops. No, go away.
Through the ice and snow along the plains of Mexico. Well,
Leave her up and away we'll go. Away, Santiana.
Oh, it's back again.
Leave
Go
her
away.
up and away we'll go along the plains of Mexico. So leave
Yeah, so cool that we get this. That like it makes total sense that we end with the kind of en masse chorus. Very, very effective.
Santiana. Leave her up and away we'll go along the plains of Mexico. So leave her, Johnny.
I love that so much. That's really nice as an ending, because it does. What they've written there, the way that they've incorporated those lyrics is very effective.
We will go along the plains of Mexico. So leave her, Johnny, up we'll go. The drunken sailor, Wellerman whaler, bound away for Mexico.
And I love that we just get that it's probably bound away to Mexico. And he just drops that final note just on the end. And we don't think we ever get that low in the rest of the song. And it's just this boom, this very emphatic ending for the bass line.
Leave her, Johnny, up we'll go. The drunken sailor, Wellerman whaler, bound away for Mexico.
Oh, and just that long shh, like the held cymbal sound just drifting away. Really, really nice. They did such a good job with this. Wonderful arrangement. Amazing use of playing around with who is the focal point at any given moment. And I think the just the levity of that. They keep it moving at all times. Even while they slow down and then pick speed back up again. It never feels like it slows down very much. And they're playing with tempo, they're playing with key, they're playing with rhythm, they're playing... There's so much that's being really effectively used in that arrangement, and I'm absolutely here for all of it. That is fantastic. Well played, home free. I think that is an excellent medley. I expected nothing less, of course, but I really enjoyed that. And it's great. They're such good songs. I love these songs. I love that, obviously none of these gave you the full story because they're all excerpts, because they're part of a medley. But I love that they are songs that have a story, and I love that the way they presented them, you could get a vibe of what the story was, even if you didn't get the full context. And I actually really, really like that. I think that was some smart choices of which bits to pull out of each song. I think that's very, very effective. Well played. Really, really enjoyed that. And I hope you did too, whether you've seen this 1,000 times over the last 5 years or whether you just saw it today and hopefully you watched their version first. This is their version too, but their video before mine. I hope I was able to bring something to you, whether that was a little thing that you didn't realize was so cool, or something you hadn't noticed before, or maybe I just brought you the whole damn song. But hopefully I was able to bring something to you, and as long as I did to a few folks out there, that's kind of what I'm trying to achieve, and that makes me a very happy man. Thank you very much for being here, watching this with me, especially if you're still here at the end of the video. It means a lot to me. Please do hit the like button, subscribe button, and the notification bell. And if you would like to support the channel, you can do so by heading over to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts and leaving a one-off donation of any amount. You can head over to patreon.com/DavidKReacts, where you can sign up for $2 or $4 Canadian or your regional equivalent. Right now, that is just giving long-term support of the channel, as well as access to my Discord. But the wheels are in motion and the gears are grinding, getting things ready for hopefully a couple of months from now, I think. Maybe even sooner. I don't want to put a date on it just yet, but I'm going to be expanding out what my Patreon offers. Or you can leave a super thanks here on YouTube, and any of those are very gratefully appreciated if you should choose to do them. No pressure, of course. And that's about it. So thank you again for joining me. I really appreciate the time that you spend with me when you're here. Please do have a wonderful rest of your day, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is that you're watching this here with me. Let's go for 7:01 p.m. See if somebody's watching then. But yes, look after yourselves. Have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, and take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.